this, right?
Shall we do a brief recap?
Bailey, you're better at combat. You do it.
So we last time on Dragon Ball Z,
Yes.
our heroes
no.
got ready for the big fight. Sophia showed back up and was acting kind of sketchy. Amanas had landed on a building and went, Sophia, you've taken the pact. And everybody was like, you fucking bitch, you betrayed us. And then we started fighting Amonazid anyways because we got the prep ready, the prep work done. It's time to fight the bitch. And Solas could not get in melee range the entire last session. So that was fun.
And when I did, I died.
And it is Inqua's turn.
Alrighty. So, thought about this for a while. And... Oh wait, first thing, talk to Sophia. Because I am still grappling her.
Okay.
Let me see. Let's see. What did I say? Drats, I forget.
This is slightly anticlimactic.
I know. I know. We had this dialogue, and now I forget what I was gonna say. It was something along the lines, like trying to dissuade her not to do it. Like, oh, here's what I wrote. Ma'am, homie, possessed dragon bait. You literally cast a spell to paralyze a person, not to mention your friend's lover, to give them the opportunity for a giant dragon to absolutely destroy them. He would have otherwise been fine, but no. You would have just done nothing, we'd have all been fine. Although you already responded to that, so... If your leader's... everything will be more fine. I guess I'll just respond saying, well, it's too late now. Best thing we can do is minimize casualties, or something along those lines.
So the main part that I didn't love about that was starting off with ma'am. She's younger than you, Inqua.
Respect should be given to everyone.
Oh, ma'am is such a... I hate ma'am. Like, if somebody calls me ma'am, I don't care how old they are. And the only time where I'm going to think it's cute if you call me ma'am is if you are below the age of 5.
Yes, ma'am.
You just set yourself up for that one. I'm sorry.
Anyway, actual stuff. I am going to cast a spell.
No way.
Big surprise. Big whoop. What spell, you may ask?
I would love
Web.
to know.
Ooh.
Web. I'm gonna... What's a 20-foot cube? I believe that there is a 20-foot cube somewhere along, like, this. Gosh darn it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in the way. Although, technically...
I'm okay, hit me with it.
Although, there is a space. 5, 10, 20...
I mean,
no,
you don't have to snap to cube, you can
20,
technically,
40.
if it's hitting Audra, it cannot hit Amanazid because he is over 20 feet up.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. There is a point where I can only hit the dragon.
Yeah, you
But
can
will the cube cause the dragon?
I technically can't if the webs aren't anchored to solid masses or layered across the floor, wall, ceiling. Conjured web collapses upon itself and the spell ends at the start of your next turn.
Ah, yes. So you could stick it onto the roof. Then
So if I stick 1 point onto the roof and then 1 point onto the dragon, that's kind of the thought.
Oh, cool.
So I suppose it would depend then if we are considering a giant dragon as a solid mass.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
it's a 20-foot cube, not a 20-foot square, right? And it's 20 feet up, so it should be able to touch like the ground and the roof.
Yeah, also that. But just barely the roof and not the dragon.
Yeah, if it were to be able to hit the ground, the only thing it could hit is like the very underside of the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for the 2 points, I was thinking just like
Oh, it says all
Conjure-
laid across a floor, wall, or ceiling. So like the floor being the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could definitely get that like triangle
yeah,
webbed up.
yeah, get like triangle of it on the
Yeah.
roof, and then triangle off the roof. That's how squares work.
Okay.
However, the good thing is, it is a point that hits the dragon, and now they must make a. What is it?
I mean,
No.
on its turn.
Oh yeah, I guess so. I thought. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. On its turn.
Mm.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a delayed payoff there, but hopefully it'll work.
Also, hey Audra, if you have anything to ruin his saves, do it.
I don't have a reaction right now.
Oh, it's fine.
It won't recharge till my turn. So
Okay. Action. Can't do anything really with my bonus action. Could drink a potion. What the heck. I'll drink one of my second experimental elixirs, which gives me, I believe, a 10-minute fly speed. And some amount of temp healing. This. Oh, wow. Oh, not that +5, just 12.
Oh, the web
Okay.
animations are beautiful. That really adds
Yeah.
a lot.
It's hard to draw a freehand spider with a mouse, but there you are. You can tell it's a web now because it's got a spider on it.
Do I go? No, I don't go. Where am I? Damn. I was gonna try and grapple the dragon. Make its dex save worse by grappling it.
Speaking of grappling, this green
Uh-oh.
ooze is going to hit Inqua.
Uh-oh.
Or is it? Yes, it is.
Only once though.
Yeah. Sometimes once is enough.
Okay, let's see, it's what, 15 damage?
Yep.
Takes off the temporary, and then extra 3.
Okay.
And I am wearing
Oh.
magical metal armor.
Aha.
Uh-huh.
Haha.
Uh-huh. Hee.
So, meanwhile, in the other fight, Arazid is down,
Ah.
and it seems as if Nyx is barely holding on for life. They're gonna try and end this ooze. Let's see how that goes. Not even a hit. Awesome.
Oof.
Death save, please, Arazid.
Wait, I thought everybody was up.
No, I ended down.
It could have been worse.
That is one fail for Arazid. There's another ooze hit. It's gonna try hit you, Inqua and Ophibaris.
Uh-oh. Not Opie.
Oh no.
Who
No.
gets hit with who?
You get hit, I think. Does a 21
I
hit
get...
you?
Yeah.
Then you get hit for 14.
Oh, I forgot to do some con saves. Some concentrating, so that's 2 DC 10 con saves. I mean... You gotta be kidding me.
Can you flash the genius your saves?
Can I?
You
I
can
don't know.
because you wanted to flash your genius cone of cold, so you can
I
totally do it.
can. You know what? Fine, I'm doing that. Flash of genius. Reaction.
You can flash your genius saves?
Yeah.
Nice.
Where's my... What's in my mind? There it is. The answer is yes. Anyway, con save number 2. Okay, there we go.
That's better.
Yes.
Sophia seems to have stopped struggling. The dragon has to first make a dexterity saving throw.
Yes.
Fail, 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 fail.
What is it?
Fails! Yippee! He's restrained.
One more to burn through.
One more to burn. And then the fun begins.
Then we can use the fun saver sucks.
Oh, thank goodness.
It is then going to look down at you all. Pathetic.
I mean, it almost did seem like you almost stumbled in there. Oh.
And Earthbind is dispelled.
Oh no.
Fuck!
This is bad. Real bad.
Ren has also been planning strategy during this time.
What have we done to make you angry?
Survived.
Or not you, but this is some
God in the
comment.
sky who controls you.
Ren, what have we done to make you mad?
It is then going to flap its giant wings and take to the sky,
Opportunity attack!
leaving one of these behind. Just for chance. And
Oh.
I guess also technically Solas as well.
I mean, I'm unconscious, so
Yeah,
damn, I'm gonna fail this automatically.
yeah.
So that's a failed death save right off the bat.
Oh yeah, it's not 2 because it's not a melee attack.
Yeah.
Like an opportunity attack as the dragon takes flight.
You will be able to, yes.
Opportunity attack. It's a hit.
Opportunity
Fuck you,
attack.
take your 17 slashing, bitch. Guess what? I'm also going to use my last Blood Fury tattoo.
Yeah.
Does this use the tattoo up?
No, it has 10 charges and just resets at dawn. It doesn't have to make any save or anything. It's another 21 psychic, and I will heal for 21.
Alrighty. It takes an amount of damage. You're able to heal. And the dragon will fly over up into the sky. This green ooze is gonna try and kill Nyx.
No. No. Nyx.
Nyx drops to one knee,
Uh-oh.
and then the other, and then their face smacks into the stone.
Praise from Ballista.
Alrighty, ooh,
It hits!
Hits!
that's a hit.
Yes!
Yeah.
Melissa hits! Yes,
Do
it's
20 billion damage.
Please be like 6, like, just be like fireball at least.
What the hell was the damage we even agreed on for the ballista? Give me a second.
It better be a lot, Red, because this is
Like
missed
a-
like 18 times.
At least like 5.
And it has silver ballista things.
Fine.
A silvered ballista tears through Arazid's wing. It howls in pain. You can see the bleeding wound. It, like, the blood alone is killing the grass and the stone underneath it. Maths. Vera is going to attempt to knock down this ooze.
Shit, girl.
And is able to do so easily. She's then going to begin running this way. Audra.
Do I get the sense that Vera can help our fallen friends? And that is why she is running that way?
She certainly seems to have that attitude.
Okay. Can I vibe check Sophia really quick?
In
Or would
combat,
that, like, take an
classify
action
it,
or something?
yeah.
Okay, so then as a free action, beginning of my turn, I change into my draconic form. And Sophia will hear in her head, I'm so sorry that I failed you as a teacher. I clearly have if I left you with the idea that doing what is easy is equivalent to doing what's right.
Oh no.
Damn!
Sad. That was
Then
mean.
yeah, that is true.
It was really mean.
It was really honest and heartfelt, and I really feel bad about it, because clearly I did fail her. How far up is the dragon right now? Still 20 feet in the air?
The dragon is currently 30 feet in the air. No,
30 feet in the air.
From the floor it would be 40, sorry.
Okay. I'm gonna move straight up 20 feet. Why can't I select my token to make the... Oh, it's because I'm on measuring.
Why? Probably.
But yeah, 20 is my fly speed, so I'm just gonna go 20 feet straight up in the air, and then... Oh, it's so hard to pick what to do, you guys.
Try earthbinding it again. Have it fall 20 feet, take a couple of...
No, Earthbind, it falls. It descends at a rate of 60 feet.
Oh,
like
my bad.
I could tidal wave it, but that's a 3rd level spell, and I don't want to do that. Okay, yeah, I will Earthbind again. And I will use my reaction to give it a minus d6 on its save, because I can, because I'm within range. And that is my 3rd of 4 Cosmic Omens. Haha! A minus 6.
Nice. To whatever roll it rolls next.
To whatever roll it rolls. I believe Earthbind is strength.
Strength.
Yes.
Rats.
It will fail.
No, it fails.
Oh wait, it does!
Because it gets minus 6.
Well, then it's gonna use
Aha.
up its last legendary resistance.
Ooh, you know what to do.
Now. Now we're
Save or
starting
suck.
this way.
Save or suck.
This is where the fun begins.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to drink a potion.
So this is what we call phase 2, and when the Latin chanting starts.
How much is a greater healing? How many dice is that?
I think that's 64? Or 8d4? I'll look it up.
I think Supreme is 8d4.
Healing potion.
I'm only down like 17, so I'm trying to figure out best use of resources.
It was.
Which one are you
greater,
looking
did
at?
Say?
Greater.
44.
Greater is 44 plus 4.
Okay, I will take a greater then. You said 44 plus 4?
Basic instinct. You guys getting tatted up here?
Yep.
Yeah, Ollie.
Hi guys. So I am going to use my second story work, being a thief, kind of my own play on the Spider-Man thing. Thank you, Inqua. And I'm just gonna pop up on this roof if I can, if that's cool with you, my DM. All
See.
right. And so I think we kind of said that the roof over here was like 20 feet, like by a Arazid. This looks like a slightly lower level building. Do I have
same level?
Damn it. All right. So I got like another 10 feet to just, make myself a little, higher up on this little turret. I don't know what a turret is. I don't know why I said that. It looks like a window hole thing with a roof for the snow to plow off. So anyways, I'm up on that. And I am going to shoot a bitch. You know how it is.
Hit.
Yeah. And I'm gonna hit this time. Because I'm so sick of not hitting. Okay. So that didn't work out great for me, as it turns out. But I still have my my swirling ball of death over there, right?
Yes.
Oh man. I just have to check the spell. I'm hoping so casting time is 1 action. And then let me see, is it a bonus action that I can ding somebody?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So I'm going to try to ding somebody. And so that is, I do believe, a d20 plus 4. And I'm going to try to hit the blob that's around Arazid and Nyx, right? Okay, d20. Oh, gosh. Technical difficulties. I'm a goober. Oh, I think that might hit.
A 15 does not hit.
It doesn't hit the goopy
Sorry,
guy?
The goop, yeah, it does.
Yes. Thank God it's the goop. All right. Okay.
Which goop are you going for?
The one between Arazid and Nyx.
Okay.
All right. So R4D6 lightning damage, I believe. All right, 13. It's acceptable.
13 is a good amount of damage.
It's a good amount of damage. Okay. All right. And basically, I do have the Boots of the Winding Path. So, oh wait, no, that's a bonus action. And I just used my bonus action. I'm good. I'm happy on the roof. All right. Love you guys.
Also, you don't have the Boots of the Winding Path anymore. That's the teleportation boots, right?
Yeah. Oh, I thought they were the Boots of the Winding Path.
Yeah, I swapped them out for the Gloves of Thieving.
Oh,
You don't have them anymore. Sorry.
God. Oh no, that's not great. I definitely used them last turn and last session, and I apologize.
It's fine.
That didn't happen. I tried and it didn't work. Oh no. Okay. Oh sorry. Okay.
You just jumped.
Yeah, I just jumped.
Solas, you know what to do.
Oh, I see. Did I mean what?
This green news, no likey Audra.
Oh no.
Get that weak ass shit out of here.
21 doesn't hit no more.
I'm also 20 feet in the air.
Oh yeah. Then never mind. Chance, you know what to do.
All right. Well, first things first, I kind of have to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
That's 10 feet of movement. Is it possible to check Solas for a better healing potion than what I have on me?
Yes, for an action.
So then I can't administer it.
That would be a bonus action.
Oh, administering's just a bonus?
Yeah.
Alright, screw that then. Enjoy this potion of superior healing, Solas, as it gets forcibly shoved down your throat. 8d4 plus... What is it? 8d4 plus 8, yeah. Enjoy 28 points of healing as a potion gets shoved down your throat.
Oh boy.
So I've moved 10 feet. So then I move another 10 into flying.
And you would be right next to Audra now.
Yes.
You'd be at the same height off the ground.
Chance is going to look towards Audra and everybody else, and then he's going to kind of quietly say, trying to make sure that Amonazid doesn't hear to the best of his ability, I'm gonna go try and man the ballista. Maybe I'll be better at it. And
You will hear telepathically back. Maybe I can help with that.
all right. So that's my 20 feet of movement for my turn. I still have an action. What can I do with this action? So I'm not within
Wait.
melee range.
Didn't you use your action to search for a potion? Or
No, I just
Oh.
administered it because
oh.
I had a potion on me. And it's good enough. Well, when in Rome, do as the Romans do? That misses.
No. Inqua.
Alrighty. First things are first. Let me check the range of this spell. Okay. Here is what I am going to do. First off, bonus action, cast Mass Healing Word. I can target up to 6 people in my range, which is 60 feet. I hit you. You hit 1, 2. I'll do myself. Audra, 5, 6. Sorry, Opie. I love you, but I haven't got nothing to say. But anyway,
Sorry.
Healing Word. So 7, 8, 9. Everyone heals 12 HP alongside Nyx. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Oh.
Nyx
So everybody in
back to
Nyx?
life.
Yes.
Alright, that puts me back to full then.
I will then hold. Now, how do I want to do this? I'll drop concentration on web.
Goodbye, my
And then I
precious
will-
artwork.
I'm sorry. Can I? I have a plan, but I could activate it now. I have roughly less than a 50% chance of it working. You know what? Here's the plan. I'm gonna book it away from the screen thing. No disengaging. So because I'm in the Genbei, that's difficult terrain ruled. I'll drop Sophia. Release the grapple. I think she's done. 10. Opportunity attack. That misses. 15. 20. 25. 30. Hopefully I don't die. And then I will hold my action. And I'll scream it up. Or I'll shout to Audra. Wheel him.
In your head, you hear, you mean whoa?
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa him. Thank you. Wheel him.
Make their save better.
10.
And then I will hold my action until the dragon is woed.
Just hold it till my turn in case for some reason I go down and I can't do it.
Yes. Or unless, under one of the two conditions, one, Audra makes it to her turn and casts Woe, or activates Woe, or condition number 2, Audra falls and maybe dies. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be pessimistic, but I consider it realistic. Bless you. And that's my turn.
Back up. Nyx is gonna stand and try and slaughter this. Yep, no.
Whack 'em. Oh.
Arazid is also up now.
And Arazid's gonna try to do the same thing.
First one doesn't hit. Surprisingly, neither does the second.
I am nothing if not
Oh,
consistent.
dear back.
Is that your turn?
Sadly, yes.
This is going to crawl over the prone bodies of Ophibaris and Sophia. And is going to crawl its way on over and wave its tentacles helplessly as it looks overhead before chasing after Inqua.
Is that... Are we accounting the difficult terrain of the Gembe?
And will plan to chase after Inqua. Thank you.
Good job, good job.
Yeah, haha. You're not getting your stickiness on me. Goop.
Sophia pulls out a... Give me a second.
Probably should have been under the dragon. That probably would have been a little safer.
Nope, never mind. Sophia will stay seated. A Arazid. 40 feet up in
Hey.
the air. Feeling fancy and flying free.
Yippee!
It's going to move over to here. Grin at you all. And will unleash.
What? What?
Okay, what's the save DC on that? Because it can't be 0.
No, it is...
Oh my.
And Tissa,
It's a dexterity saving throw. How
How DC is it?
10 foot cubes?
A DC of 20.
Ugh, I can't pass that without like a crit. Maybe I can.
Oh,
Try.
up to 10 10-foot cubes. That's
No,
not
really
fun.
close, but no.
What was it
Where-
again?
Where are these cubes?
There is going to be one on top of each of you. In fact, I could just draw them. That would be quicker and easier.
God damn it! Can we stop knocking Solas back down?
I saved!
Me too. But me too. Is this?
You should also take, I think you take nothing if you save because you have evasion.
I fucking hope I save.
Silly evasion, baby.
I'm an evasion baby. Oh,
F
no.
damage just for kids.
Oh, I thought I hit it, but maybe I didn't hit it, and I'm just stressed. Did I? Oh,
I don't think that saves. I think it's
I
like
don't think
20.
that's safe. Can I try again?
This I do actually.
Oh my god.
It's not meant to be.
Solas saves!
Oh.
Yippee!
Praise be!
I'm so stressed.
So the only ones who haven't made the save are Inqua, Ollie, and Arazid needs to roll.
I'm trying so hard to roll. I feel like that wobble dogs thing where you click on the wobble dog and it's like, can you eat this? And it's like, I'm trying my hardest to eat the cookie, but I'm trying my hardest to press the button.
Oh.
I had the same thing. I thought I clicked it, and then I had to click it again.
Hey!
Oh, nice.
Yippee!
26
Wait, what was it? I can't
damage.
see it yet.
You
Okay,
got
well,
27. You got the highest roll of anyone.
You're so cool.
I'm gonna use my reaction.
Does not matter whatsoever. I am still going down again, but at least I'm not dying.
That.
What do you
I'm gonna use my reaction. Gain resistance to this damage. This 52 fire damage.
Understandable. So you
Okay,
will
so
take
let's-
26, along with everyone.
I'm up.
But Ollie.
What?
I'm sorry.
Oh, do I take the full 52?
You failed your save?
Oh god, evasion doesn't
Oh.
help me at all?
Yeah, evasion
Oh,
would say
evasion.
still take half damage.
Yeah, I thought.
Right.
thank
Okay,
God.
nice.
Ugh.
That's some nice symmetry. Everyone takes 26, except for the people that have resistance and save.
Okay, I'm too stressed out to do this math. Oh no, the number just came to me. I want to cry. I'm fine.
Wait,
I'm
what's
fine.
your HP? Oh dear.
It
You're
low.
fine. You're fine.
I'm fine.
The,
I'm good.
the alley around you is currently on fire, but you're fine.
Is the house that I'm standing on fire?
Yes.
Oh fuck. There's people
Yes.
there, aren't there?
And the
Oh, shit.
neighboring roof. Gable.
Oh god damn it. Oh no. Okay.
And the
Can
Gembe. The Gembe's on
I
fire.
scream? Can I scream for people to evacuate?
On
Get
your
out of here!
They've already evacuated.
Or they've died.
Ah, 'cause-
And finally... Yeah, that was never gonna happen.
oh, sweet Jesus.
Oh,
Oh, God.
oh, the
Oh,
poor boy.
Nyx
Oh,
goes
fuck.
down
oh, he's,
No,
once
he's
more.
roasted.
he's charbroiled. He's,
Honestly, he's well done.
Wait, does
Wait.
the ooze have to make a
Yes, does the
save?
slime have to make the save? I was just about to ask that too.
Yeah, these slimes. What about them?
These slimes do not have to make the save.
We're
Why?
not fire resist?
Because of magic bullshit, that's why.
Thank you.
Amonazin is an evocation wizard, got it.
Wait, hold on. Isn't there like a sorcerer feat that does this?
Yeah, careful.
Or
Careful spell.
magic?
It could also be, homebrew shit.
Amonazid wouldn't hurt her babies. She's not
Oh my
that
little, oh my,
good mom.
oh my little blood babies.
Ugh.
Never hurt them.
I'm fine.
Should have mentioned at the end of Amadazid's turn, they are gonna elevate themselves another 20 feet in the air.
Oh, what a fucking jerk.
This green ooze gonna attempt to kill the only person still standing, which is Arazid.
What the
Arazid.
hell? That's kind of an attack.
I was not still standing.
Yeah. You get knocked down.
I've been down.
You're like,
So many tubs.
wait. That's not good. If Arazid was already down, and the pseudopod attacks Arazid, hits twice. That's 2 crits. That's 4 death saves. I think you're dead.
I think I'm dead too.
Like dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does the revivify tattoo go off, or like?
Was Run aware that Arazid was down when those attacks were made? So I don't think that was the intention.
Oh my god.
Wait, what? Arazid? Oh yeah, Arazid would have gone down.
Yeah, it's
We need
really
to start
full
marking
HP.
people when they go unconscious.
Yeah, because like Arazid, by the end of, the firestorm
Yeah.
thing, I still saw that Arazid had health left, so I thought that you were still up.
Yeah,
Oh
this is
no,
nice.
it's the I put it. I just put in the
Ah.
negative 26, so it's at negative 14.
Oh, I see.
Oh
So
god.
in that case, the slime would not have attacked you, and it's gonna just wiggle for the nearest person that they see is up, which is Inqua.
Hello. What?
Hello.
Is lady not up?
Yep. Everyone over here got downed.
I'm gonna
Oh.
add a little icon to mine.
Thank you.
Really?
Got any more of those mass healing words?
No. We're all out.
I might be able to help on my turn, but that's
I've
just-
got
I can't
regular
do the
healing
thing that we're
words.
planning on doing.
Mass healing word machine broke.
I only have 2.
Audra.
I whispered a chance. Do you still wanna? I mean, they seem to have it at the ballista now. They seem to have it under control.
Whoa.
Either way, I'm still going there to take over, see if I can get better shots. I'm all out of anything I can do other than swinging my sword.
You think you can get there by yourself? We have
Probably.
3 people down.
It might just
Okay.
take a bit longer.
Okay. At the beginning of my turn, I will. Because I can't just leave these people just sitting there unconscious. Does
Whoa.
Firestorm continue to do damage?
I don't believe so.
But anyways, at the beginning of my turn, I'm going to activate Woe,
Well,
even though it probably
that
would be
triggers
faster.
my trap card. As you see, I pull out a scroll. Scroll of the Sands of Time, and cast it on our great dragon friend. She must make a DC 18 con saving throw or take d12 necrotic damage, and only has 30 days left to live.
Well, you see, you've activated my trap card.
What? No! You can't do this! No! That was the only way. What? Why
Con saves are ridiculous.
why does she have a 16 to con? Why?
Big dumb dragon.
That doesn't make sense.
But is it a big dumb dragon from everything you know about this character?
Yes.
Big
Does
smart
it do
dragon.
anything on a half save?
It does half of 10d12. I feel I've wasted this spell scroll.
That's a lot of damage. Roll your damage.
Fine.
Roll your damage and then I'll continue on my turn.
10 d12. You sure I can't change it to d100s?
That would be
Okay,
so
okay.
cool.
I thought it was worth the ask. Rocks, attack. That's 32 damage.
Respectable.
Why does this dragon have such a high con save?
Probably because it's a magical fusion of 2 beings with very high constitution.
Yeah, but I wouldn't expect to have 30 saves.
Alright,
That's
since
like-
I'm
32 points of damage.
since I'm like 20 feet in the air, I am not going to heal anybody this turn because I can't go into my chalice form because I'll drop 20 feet and I don't feel like doing that. Sorry, just seeing how far I can get with 90 feet. So I'm going to cast Thunderstep and I'm going to take Chance with me all the way to here.
Okay. As you two thunderstep pass, you see the shape of Arazid begin to grey and wither away. The scales seem to shatter and fall the 60 feet to the cobbles, and puff into dust before Inqua's feet. The shape of the dragon turns into dust, and behind is left only a proclamation. The worst is yet to come. And the dragon, along with the oozes, disappear.
Rats.
Wait,
What?
what?
What? You just bailed?
It seems
Chance
that
just looks towards this and just screams, "You coward!"
it seems that whatever Inqua did wiped out this physical form.
Ugh.
Hmm.
We killed it.
Ish.
It looked like a death, not a teleport or anything else.
Okay, that's better.
I'm gonna go panic administer aid to the people who are unconscious.
Yeah, I'm.
Probably a good idea.
Here.
Immediately while I still have my wild shape chalice form, I'm gonna start
Oh, no.
healing wording.
Opie Bars, are you okay?
Oh my god. Get him off of the burning ship, man!
As I can Chance re-grapple Sophia and drag her off the burning ship?
She wouldn't have resisted, but also
Okay.
didn't seem to resist being burnt. She suffered some damage.
No one fights a fire rescue. Okay. All right.
And also
oh god.
this building is still on fire.
Well, no, I fucking. Let's say I was a decent person, said, get out, but my husband's down. I mean, my fiance. My affiance.
Yeah, you're, Arazid, you're up with 9 hit points, and then Nyx is up with 6, and then I'm gonna cast it again.
Oh my god, that was so scary.
Vera's up with 10, and then...
So when you rush over
That
to
aids you.
the body of Nyx...
No.
Oh,
No.
shit. Nyx got creamy, guys. Sorry. I'm just... Nyx is down.
It's barely recognizable. The flame burnt away all of their hair. And behind is left an unbreathing husk.
I take one of the diamonds that I got, and I slam that into Nyx's chest, and I immediately cast Revivify. I have to upcast it to 4th level, but I'm still going to cast it.
The burns begin to fade, and one rattling breath is taken.
And he gets an extra 2d8, or sorry, they get an extra 2d8.
Their eyes flutter open.
Hi, don't do that again. We won, but don't do that again.
They look up at you, they look around nervously towards the sky, and then they just wrap you into a hug, like still prone, so like they're kind of curled around your midriff. Almost
I would have
like they're
kneeled
just,
down
like...
to administer the Revivify.
Yeah. And they're just like sobbing sooty tears.
It's okay. It's okay. Is everyone else okay?
So
Everyone
Babar's
else has
okay?
been, raised okay. If Abaris is not moving.
Try to cast Healing Word.
You can try.
Oh, that's a max. That's a max Healing Word. That has to do something.
It does.
Oh.
There's just like a jolt in one of the legs. And then another. And then suddenly this thing is moving once more.
Huzzah!
I must say that was quite an interesting experience. What?
The dragon's dead.
Oh, fine job.
I don't like how it died.
Why?
Is that truly a death?
Well, it's
Or
a
is it going to
complex.
return?
I get the feeling it's maybe lich-like. Possibly.
Chance pulls his sword and basically levels it at Sophia's throat. Tell
Hey.
me, is it dead? Has the contract been broken?
She looks square at you. The entire army will be here.
Oh, fuck.
Which army?
Azakul.
Ooh.
Well, that saves us going to find them.
On its way to Extinguished Grove, it will sweep through every single other city. It comes from the east. It will take time.
Then we meet them.
Yes.
Could cut them off at Alan, maybe. I'm not sure there's a need for the sword anymore. Chance, she's.
No.
With slight hesitation, Chance will sheathe his blade once more.
I'm assuming the storm sphere would dissipate by now. If I can select it.
Unfortunately, I think the Genbei's beyond repair. Like with the poison, I was thinking maybe now it's on fire. Bad fire.
Hey, oh, okay. Well, anyway, so that's all happening. Hey, Audra, do you have any of that water stuff? I don't know. We maybe want to put out some of the house fire over here.
Yeah. By the way, I gave Ollie like extra 10 health.
Oh, thank you. That was needed.
Yeah, Audra will use. I don't think I have any of my other water stuff prepared, but I'll use shape water to start putting out fires as well as I can.
If I can hear you, get out. Also, you fire.
How does she still have so much energy?
Chance will walk down a bit to this flaming wreckage of the Gunbay before reaching into his bag, pulling out some paper and tossing it within it.
Oh no, Chance's dramatic letter. We never get to read it.
Exactly. He'll then dust his hands off. Oh, I'm glad I didn't need those.
What was that? Was that notes or?
Yes, did some prep for worst case scenario, but I don't need them now.
I told you it'd be fine. We all worked together and we were fine.
The dusty remains that are left, is there anything in them? Like if I go poking through them, is there anything of a note in them?
question. Give me a second. Yes. You find a small red gem.
Takes the gem. Is this another one of that he already has?
Depends. Does he have a ruby?
Oh, it's a ruby.
It could be a soul gem.
I was more thinking along the lines of the one that controls the island is a red gem.
Right.
Chance will look this gem over. Does it appear magical in any way?
Roll me an Arcana check to vibes it out. Not that you see.
Chance will look towards Inqua and hand him this red gem. This was in the remains. It doesn't appear magical.
I can always inspect it more.
That's what I was hoping.
Yeah.
He'll, like, place a hand on Inqua's shoulder. Are you back, or are you just here?
Not without some requests. Or let me rephrase it, demands. I believe what you did there was utterly reckless, and I believe, honestly, the greatest waste of time that I have ever experienced. And yes, I have gone through the education system. Oh. He pulls out like a small piece of paper. Alright, here are my requests. I want to change our policies. First things first, restoring the second sun is our... Am I muted?
Nope.
No.
No.
Okay, everyone was just really quiet. I was just kind of confused.
Listen to English demands. It's important.
Okay, yeah. Restoring the second sun is our priority above all else. However, seeing how situations have changed, I am willing to negotiate that one. Number 2, we are not killing anyone else unless they are directly in the way of our goal. No exceptions. No running off the path, killing monarchs. Number 3, you, Chance, and Audra denounced the title of the Monarch of Grove. You did not earn it. You killed their leader violently. You have not earned it. I request that we give it to the people. Let them decide. Want a democracy if they want a monarch? For they are the ones who know how to run Grove. If they wish to elect you, so be it. That's 3. Number 4, I request that you have been taking a much more higher position of leadership in recent days. I request that we change it now to a voting system. A system in which we all get a share, instead of following the whims of a... I'm not going to say that.
Maybe we should be voting on this list. I mean, if you want a democratic system, I just don't think it's fair to just present a list.
I'm just saying, the clause hasn't come into effect till
Also,
someone
I'm kind of
proves
concerned about you, and I feel like we should have a talk before we...
About?
Well, let Inqua finish.
Oh yeah, I'll let you finish. You finish your thought, and then I have some stuff to talk to you about.
Oh no, that's the end of my demands.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Chance is going to look over. Solas, did you hear all that?
Sort of, yeah. You would see he's like sat on the edge of the roof, legs dangling off.
That's exactly what I thought he was doing.
Yeah.
We're unionizing.
Do you want to come down so we can talk about things?
Fuck it, sure. He just
Thank you.
turns around and then climbs down the side of the house. Okay.
And Matt, refresh my memory with the recipe that you gave me for Inqua, that will like revert him to human form.
Kind. Well, it removes the possession, the pact, sort of, because it changes my form to such an extent that I'm barely recognizable without magic. That would change me back to the initial state I was before the pact I have made.
So, I have some concerns about your state of mind
Yeah.
and that
What about
pact
that?
you made.
Uh-huh.
So, here's this journal that Artemis used to have.
Yeah.
Feel free to peruse at your leisure. But as you can see in like the beginning, it's very like altruistic and very like caring about the people. And if you look at the end, it's kind of, you know, the guy that we met is super into like blood and torture. Also had a similar pact with a same god. So
that
God quotation marks.
And that is why I took this pact, so no one else madder than me will take it.
I don't know if that matters. I think if we're making demands, I think we should get rid of that.
I can.
Okay, so let's put that on the list.
It's too dangerous to get rid of.
Disagree.
Hear me out. What if someone else had that? What if that giant dragon had the pact? That right now I am the avatar of all. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. But it's necessary. Necessary evil. If someone else has this, then the world is in much greater danger than a very warm day or a giant dragon. Giant dragons will still be the problem, but it'll be a lot worse.
May I vibe?
Bloodthirsty murder dragon.
I would like to vibe check my friend here for corruption. If allowable.
You can try. You don't get the vibes of corruption.
I just want to express my concern.
I
Okay.
appreciate it. That's why we have backup plans. If I gave you the recipe, someone else has a backup serum, I have a backup serum, we'll all be fine.
Alrighty. So let's all gather around. And Chin's gonna wave over everyone in the party.
I will only gather after I've put out some fires. Run. Please no, I put out the fires.
I think Ollie went to go put out one of the fires.
I don't put out fires, I start them.
Understandable.
But I did ask Audra if she could, given that she does that whole water wavy thingy.
Okay. Yeah, Audra is able to put the fires out and save the husk of the gembe. So that's basically just piles of soot by now.
I mean, it's wood. Wood's useful.
Hashtag sorry, Gembe, but I put out the fires in the buildings first.
What does fall out of the burnt wreckage is its power core. It seems scorched but intact.
I'll I mean, obviously we're grabbing that. Can I grab the power core? You guys cool with me putting that in my my sack for now? Oof. Is that yes or oomph?
Yeah, you can put it in.
Okay, I'm gonna take out my sack, and as I open up my sack, some like loose papers are gonna flutter out. You might see some semi erotic drawings on them. I'm gonna snatch them, shove them back in there. It's
Please
looking
roll
like the
sleight of
set.
hand.
Oh damn it! Okay, it's looking like the set might be like getting full, right? Like, yeah, you guys don't see shit really.
You
You
react.
also got a +5 to that.
Just the slightest bit of pube, maybe like an etching of ooh, what is that? And I'm gonna take the energy core and just really try to shove that in. But then I'm also gonna try shoving in, the eye of the breath of air, and it's and so I'm gonna take out some papers, make sure the balls get in. I organize the papers. I'm gonna roll them up and put those in my fanny pack. So
The gloves of thievery, so your sleight of hand was like a 33.
oh Jesus, yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. I mean, you guys only saw what I wanted you to see. Holy shit, Audra.
Or
I
just
see everything.
No, you don't. Nothing is seen.
Beats it, right?
Pizza. Ay. But yeah, okay. So yeah, the energy core is secured.
Yep. In your massive papery ball sack.
Hell yeah, my massive papery ball sack. Mm. Yeah.
Tempting to call the video this.
No.
Alrighty. Does anybody have anything to say against Inqua's so-called demands?
I
Audra
demand.
slowly puts up her hand.
Audra?
Well, aside from my just general concerns about your well-being, which I wanted to say first because I care about you as a person, yeah, of course. I mean, we're friends. Really wish you'd talk to us first, by the way, before you left the first time, so that we could have had this discussion earlier. Appreciate your interest in the politics of Grove. And not that I want to ignore the will of the people, but we did just save this entire town from a bunch of bad things.
This isn't about the people. I'm generally concerned about the people, but it's about punishing you. You have done something so.
You did this, and I point to the sky.
What? What's it? Oh, yeah, that.
Counterpoint. Just popping in to say that.
And I've done my best not to be angry with you about gestures vaguely. But I'm angry a lot these days, and I don't really appreciate you casting judgment on me when my intentions were generally very pure.
They were very pure, but the consequences of the actions ends do not justify the means, or means do not justify the ends.
Do you really think that being wants us to restore order and restore things the way they were? You really think they're not going to stand in our way? You really think a giant army isn't going to be an issue?
Absolutely not. However, if none of this would have happened, we would have been fine, happy-go-lucky people saving the world. Now we're wrapped up in politics. Politics are slow and boring, and now there's a giant army living their way here.
I mean, from what I
danger.
understand, you guys were already involved in politics with Scott and Henry, and also like the rulers of the last place we were in. Sorry, I don't remember in character.
Look.
On a limbo.
Yeah, I mean, and the rulers of Onalem, you guys, honestly, from what I've seen, do nothing but politics.
I've tried my best to avoid it. Waste of time, bureaucracy, and whatnot.
Do you honestly think we could have restored the sun without a Arazid, Cool, and all these people never knowing nor say anything?
I'd rather just get the job done and not worry about future consequences.
The whole point is future consequences, trying to restore order to the world.
Yes.
If there's nobody to enjoy it, what's the point of bringing the sun back?
Look, in the case that why would a giant dragon care if we restored a sun and brought back, life?
From what we've learned, it's like feeding off of this whole political system, but also it's like it seems like that happened around the same time as the sun going out. So I feel like there is a connection there.
The formation was in regards to your work. It fused in a battle outside of Duras, what is now Duras, we know that. Out of the leaders of the two warring nations, one of which you worked for and created the elements of. Is this truly a quest to save the world, or is this your some kind of self-actualization of the consequences of your own actions, Inqua?
It is. I'm not gonna lie about that. I regret it. I very much do. However, However, it's not all about self-absolution. It's a mix of both, put it simply. I want to restore my mistakes. Make things better. That's all I want to do. Hopefully, reverse what I've done. If I've done something one way, I can do it the other.
It's a noble goal. I don't think I can agree to doing that and only doing that. You know, I care about people in general. I agree. I can agree to it being our number one goal, but I can't agree to never help anyone else. And I don't think it's fair of you to ask that of me.
Oh, let me post the points.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything, because I know I've touched on a couple, but I want to make sure.
I took rapid notes, but it's very vague.
Yeah. Here's the list. There's one more.
Very well, then.
I thought this was
If-
a democracy.
No, it's not. Chance has been taking full control for like a couple of weeks.
I feel like he
No.
always listens to me.
Look, I will listen to anyone if you lay in bed with them. Hint, hint.
Look. Point number one, I can agree with at this point. If they're not standing in direct way, I'm not going to go out of my way to kill anybody anymore. Past me might have, but seems easier not to these days. If Audra is okay with number two, I do not care either way. At the end of the day, it is Audra's hometown, and I'm here to support her. Restoring the sun is priority above all else. That's, I think, where we're going to butt some heads a bit. Because there are two things that we need to look at doing next outside of that, because they are rather high priority, in my opinion, at least. As well as deciding decisions together, well, let's make this the first.
That third one, seeing the consequences, made me change that thought. Right now, I feel we have more important things to do than save the sun.
If we are to face Ezercool, I believe there may be connections with my past in there. I met the man as a child, meaning that he was around the mountains where I grew up. I do not know the full extent of the connections of the cult I was a part of and his cult, if they were connected in any way. I would like to go back to settle things and to look for information. There is also the looming task of saving Arazid's mother. Those are the two other things that we need to think about.
I also have told some of you that Quinn is actually not dead. So that's something that personally I have to see to. whether you'd like to be a part of that or not, Inqua, I suppose that's your decision.
Either way, once we reach Dras, we'll handle that when it happens. We'll be heading there either way, because we need to get the water orb from Squad.
Yeah, and I know this is not exactly high priority on the list of people's priorities, but I also would actually maybe like to find my parents eventually,
Yes.
actually.
Who are your mother's own, so that's concern.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so what are we doing exactly? Because there's a lot of things thrown out there, and
I think we're supposed to be voting.
I mean, I'm backing out of this. I say no vote because all I want to do is fucking leave this place. We've done enough, caused enough problems. So,
My vote is to save Arazid's mum.
Thank you, but I also understand if we have to save, the sun. I feel like the sun is, but I don't know. I agree with the first 2 points about like I don't really know what a democracy is, but it sounds good, and if it means that we're not stuck here forever, that's great.
No, we'd come with you. And just I mean, the plan was to install like a regent or something. Glances over at Sophia, and then suddenly stops talking.
Yeah, I got that part, but then it didn't really work out on account of, and then he also glances over at Sophia, and then stops talking.
Well, if we're going to go along with what
Where-
Inqua wants, then it won't matter.
Where is Arazid's parents located at exactly?
Likely an own.
Oh, that's pretty far away.
It is really far away.
We could hit some points on the way there. We could like pick up the husk and like check on the second sons, and then kind of like pick up that other orb from Sklad's Jaras, and then
Yeah,
just like map it out.
kind of what I'm thinking. Like I have to map up.
There's also, as I said, if we are going to face Ezercool, there might be some information to the north in the mountains. I can bring you to where the cult I was a part of once is, and we might learn more there. It's a gamble, however, one that could prove quite beneficial.
So it seems like what we're doing, what the plan is we loop around the mountain set, hitting the husk, the cult, chances cult, loop around the Jairus, get the water orb, and then go to own. Although wait, is this map perfectly in northeast southwest?
Yes.
Is our compass rose? Yes.
You're looking at this map.
Yes, I'm looking at the one information.
Should be the same now.
Although,
The updated one you're looking at, right?
yeah. So, I'll ask Sophia again, wherever she is, but just pretty much, you said that the dragon, Amazath,
Amonazid?
thank you. Why do I keep forgetting names? Amonazid's coming from the east with an army.
Yeah, but like as Azarkul, who is, and I'll kind of Audra will kind of point off the map to where she last knew Azarkul to be from. It's kind of like, I believe, south and east of Aun by like a little ways, Ren.
Stay on the world map a bit longer. Point out where you were describing.
where Azarkul was, because I was able to figure that out roughly based on that vision I had of their shrine.
Yeah. Where did we land on with that?
I believe it was east and south further of Aun, like being kind of almost off the map.
In the entombing dunes, I
Yeah.
presume.
Yeah, slightly more east and south of that, I believe.
Yeah, that's accurate.
How far away? About like, are we talking like a couple of miles or days? Away?
Especially for an army, that's going to take time.
Yeah.
How long? About? Would you guess?
Can I do a survival check to
Yeah.
gauge the distance?
Yeah.
Oof.
It's been a rough day.
You know, it's off the map, so
You don't know what's there. There could be, like, even more advanced civilizations than on Alembo with even faster things.
and you
They
know
could
there's
be made of
the dunes
snail.
there.
So
I really don't know. Maybe we should find a cartographer.
So the current plan is to do something along the lines of this.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
However, they are approaching from the east, so
Yeah, but they're walking, and we're
Where-
flying.
They'd
How
be heading
fast-
It's
towards.
gonna take weeks to
Grove.
months.
if they would probably head to Owen first.
Well, if they're heading to Grove first, why would they not just cut through the dunes and head straight here?
Can I try to take a crack at what strategy I think they'd be using a survival check?
Yeah.
I'm decent at it. Copium, in before, not one, in before, not one.
Guidance.
LMAO.
Exact same roll.
At
But
least
with
you got
guidance,
Guidance before.
guidance.
we should have just assisted each other. It would have been still bad, but
Yeah.
You guys are nothing if not consistent.
ha ha ha.
Nothing but ones.
Would you
So
like a
that's
flash
a-
of genius in these trying times?
Does that count as
Appreciate it.
it's like a negative one? I don't know.
Flash of Genius is a straight +5, right?
Yes.
So in total, Arazid gets 17 for the survival check. You suspect, based on your limited knowledge of the orc people that used to or still do dwell in the cliffs east of Naglamund. Sorry, some weird music
What?
coming from downstairs. You guess that they would probably go more northwest to begin with, and hit Own first to resupply their troops after a march through the ruins, through the dunes.
Sorry, I'm typing notes. Sorry, hold on. Sorry, I'm still typing notes, but Arazid would try to relay this as eloquently as possible with the group.
Okay. I can keep going. You can always refer to the recording later if needs be.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, you suspect that the most sensible strategy for a large amount of people to do would be to hit the nearest outpost settlements to firstly cause fear and destabilize the region, and secondly to raze it to the ground for supplies to continue their march. So it seems likely to you that Own is going to be the first place that is hit, especially since you have also had visions of exactly this happening already. What
This
your
is
mother was
true.
running from.
This is true.
So they may already be at Own, and from there you suspect that they would either cut south, like so, or like so. Or they would just cut straight through Duras, take control of the water, and then march straight to Grove from there. It depends. You also suspect that they may not have to fight, since they seem to be on the same page in terms of the ruler of Duras. Sklard answers to Amanazid, as Alkul also seems to answer to Amanazid.
Well, I think this is going to be a horrible and devastating time for all of us. I'm just going to be honest, because there's probably not going to be a lot of battling. Because I think wasn't Azar cool like a man as it's like Sud or something?
Yeah, that's accurate. I mean, Amanoth's son, but accurate.
Perhaps we need to rethink our strategy.
I simply think this is going to be devastating.
Clearly, us alone is not enough to take on whatever other forms this dragon has, plus an army. We need help.
Well,
Like,
Where
any
can we
help.
get help?
Well, I'm not a big politics guy, but
if Grove is a rallying point, we look to the cities nearby. There's a chance that if I return to the cult, I may be able to get them on my side, as I am the legitimate heir of my father and I carry his symbol of power.
That's
There's
an idea.
also the chance they might have information on Azarkul, as it seems he operated around there during the time I was a child. There's also the point of we can petition Henry, even though that he works for Amanazid, there is potential that he may betray Amanazid, especially if the pact is broken. And that gem that I gave Inqua may be the key in winning him over, if he knows that we have defeated them once before.
We should really find out what that gem does, number one. Number two, I mean, Henry hated Solaris and Artemis, right? So it should be easy to get him on our side.
Worst case, he may try to backstab us and take control of Grove from the people. There's also the point of we can beseech Onalembo. We have good relations there.
Didn't we learn that they also were part of this pact?
Yes, however, the corrupting nature of it seems to be spread among the three, therefore they seem to all be relatively sane. It may have caused strain, and it may be the same deal.
The problem with Onalembo is it's far away, really far away. There's no reasonable way to get there.
I can communicate with them from a distance.
Can we not move armies through the gates that we have used?
I suppose we could. We still have access to them. Wait. Still have access to the gates. There was a purpose to my pact. Audra.
If there's good that comes of it, I'm of course happy about that. You know, I'm just concerned about your well-being.
So we know there's the one on that plateau, and then there's the one up north. We also have the way into the Leaky Cauldron in Duras.
Speaking of ways to get people across great distances, any possible way that we leveled up after that combat run?
I mean, I was going to leave it until the end of the session, but yes.
Okay, I have an ability.
A significant milestone to hit.
I have an ability to transport people through trees now. I just learned how to do that like 5 seconds after the battle.
There's trees in Onalembo. We can.
I have transport via plants now because I have level 6 spells.
Although,
would you need to long rest to prepare that?
Yes, I can't do it right now, but I feel like when I wake up, I should be able to do it. But a lot of people, as many people as can move, through a space in like the, in the space of like 6 seconds.
We can use Grove as a rallying point, however. If it is going to be yet another battleground, then I believe we should allow others to decide. We didn't have a choice last time. It would be easier to defend a city than it would be, because we can just shut the gates and they must siege us and we can attack from outside, than it would be to meet them on the open plains, especially given the numbers game. However, I will not have people sacrifice their home simply because we want to use it as a better defensive position.
You
No,
already
only
see
if they
the
were willing.
destruction that this one battle has caused. Like, you've been able to shrug it off thanks to your good thinking of the resistance potions, but a lot of the buildings around have been, like, had half the roof eaten in due to this thing's blood.
We should gather the people and speak to them, but first, I mean, when we're done talking, I kind of want to go see to the wounded, and then maybe after that.
Yes, of course. Brian, can you pull up the map of the blood dimension? I want to see what the portals lead to. I forget. Thank you.
Nice
Tavern.
chair.
Not work.
But I would
Anyway,
a specific large tree with a
screw that.
sword in it in Onolembo. That would be a great transit point.
That would be.
You good?
However, I think you can only transport via plants.
Yeah, only I can. Well, I mean, I can hold a portal open between two places, and then as many people as can move through that space and around can move through that space and around, as long as I hold it open.
Oh, that's actually a really useful spell.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
Who designed this spell? Like, seriously.
Druids get so few good spells. Just leave me alone.
No. Like the only thing that's close to this is, like, teleportation.
Yeah, which I don't get access to. I do get
And,
plane shift, but I don't get any other teleportation spells.
well, teleportation in 5e is the same level, is a 7th level spell, and if you're not 100% certain of where the item or where the place is, you can just be sent anywhere.
To be fair, this is a desert setting, so my ability to use a spell is extremely limited.
Yeah, it's fair.
It balances out.
Like, if you were to travel across,
Yeah, I can go anywhere where I've seen or touched the plant. So if it's somewhere I haven't been, I have to scry on it first.
Okay.
It's-
Ratio.
So it seems like we're doing a bit of leveling up and finagling of character sheets. Do you guys want to take a little break?
Yeah, I think it's a good time for a break.
Okay.
I'll give it.
I get to be a new level.
Yes. We'll do 10 minutes. Don't have to level yourselves up in that time. No pressure, but I'll be back. I'm just gonna grab a drink and a snack.
Cool,
Mhm.
cool.
So what do you guys do now? I believe that you were negotiating.
Yeah, we're negotiating with Inqua and trying to plan what we're doing next. Trying to get an army.
I mean, I think we've got Inqua on board, right? Like Inqua was on board and like making plans for us for like what we're doing next.
I mean, is that's if we meet Inqua's demands.
I think Inqua is being pretty reasonable. I think
I'm being
Inqua understands
so
that if we're going to be
reasonable.
democratic, maybe it shouldn't be a list of demands, but a discussion.
And like option number 3, this was made before a giant army was coming, and may take out everything known to man. So that's negotiable.
Yeah. So I was more on the number 2 point of is Audra down to be like,
Audra's
hey,
gonna go take care of the wounded, and then she's gonna hold a town council meeting and see how everyone feels.
Yeah.
So she's
I think
basically she's not like acceding to the demand because Inqua says so, but she's basically has said that she's willing to accede to the demand of the people of Grove.
all right. So I think we're going to go do things, and then we're going to have a big old town meeting with whoever's left. And alive.
Not that many people went down. It wasn't that bad.
It was random
There's a lot of
commoners.
property damage, but
Mm.
We lost a lot of commoners and property damage.
You see that there's like some activity over by the emergency hospital gazebo. A lot of the commoners that went down seem to be over there. Though this
Alright.
seems to be lying down.
I'm gonna walk past Sophia, kind of try to pick her up and say, "Come on, wounded to tend to."
Please roll me a athletics check.
To pick, she's gonna make me physically pick her up. God damn.
When
If Sophia's going to start resisting, then
Is that enough to get her to her feet?
Yeah, you kind of like, as you're walking past her, you like grab her by her upper arm. And it's enough to like kind of drag her and guide her, and she begins stumbling after you. She
Audra,
seems to have
maybe-
been like quite deep in thought. Kind of like
Maybe
not
maybe we
very
should
here.
leave her be in it.
no. It's fine. Okay, just watch your
It's not fine.
acid on the ground. I mean, you brought this upon us, sort of. Yeah, it's not your fault. Is it? I don't know.
all right. Let's until we held the town meeting to discuss everything further. Who can help me start repairing some of these buildings?
No. Nope.
I can do it once I sleep, but like,
Could
I
do it if
suppose
you
I can
were
help, but
a bard.
well, my talent is more in medicine.
Well, if your talent's medicine, go help with the medicine. I'm not talented with medicine, so
Wait,
I'm going to do it.
melted is Solas's armor. Sorry.
Oh, it's broken. It's non-functional.
What? I can mend it. I can get the mending cantrip.
That likely won't do anything.
Well,
It was
It
devoured
was-
by the ooze.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. Well, if we see it as a bunch of small single tears, then maybe.
I mean, it's literally a pile of like metal goop
Yeah.
and leather.
This
So-
wouldn't be a particularly like effective ability if a cantrip were able to reverse it like that.
Yeah.
Well, it may be helpful just to take the metal. Maybe we'll be able to make something later.
A shovel would be necessary for that.
What?
To take the metal, a shovel would be necessary.
Oh.
It's a pile of like half melted goop, like half fused onto the rubble, the cobble.
I'd also imagine it's significantly rusted because it was acid, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
as we're walking with Sophia, I'm just gonna try to talk to her and try to get her to like be more responsive. Just both out loud and in her head, just being like, "I know what happened. I feel you will probably feel better if you help someone else. I know it's just deep breaths."
I'm amazed you're not gonna kill me.
You really think I would do that?
She looks over at you and then looks back far off into the distance at a certain someone.
He wouldn't have actually done it.
It's not.
And if he had, I wouldn't have let it stand.
Fine.
I still love you, Sophia.
I hope you understand why I did what I did.
I know you were scared. But I wish you hadn't gone behind my back. We could have done this together, you know.
You would have stopped me. I thought that I was doing the best. And he seems so pig-headed and you're listening to everything he says. It worried me. I didn't feel I could trust you.
There's more to chance than meets the eye. There's a rough exterior there.
Inside it's mostly hollow, but that's besides the fact.
I mean, rough is one thing, but the man comes across like a psychopath.
You've got to learn to look deeper than the surface. He's defensive. He's been through a lot. He's not... He did what he did because he was angry about the way that Artemis and Solaris treat people. He does care.
In the same way that I did what I did because I care.
I understand it, Sophia. That doesn't mean I'm happy about it. I understand it. And I'm not even angry. I'm concerned.
She kind of lowers her eyes and squeezes your forearm and then steps up to look at the wounded.
Before she goes, I give her like a full-on hug.
She squeezes you by the forearm, and then you can see that she's leaning to go, and you just grab her up in one, and she goes like, ooh, as you squeeze her against you, and then after a second she squeezes back.
You still have a lot to learn, and that's all right. I trust that you'll learn from this.
I'm glad you're back, Master.
Audra just kind of laughs like she always does when Sophia calls her that.
She knows by now, I think, that is the thing that makes you laugh and chose that word specifically.
All right, let's deal with the wounded.
Many of them are beyond saving. It seems that Marie is more making them look a bit more viewable for their loved ones, for their final rites. Nyx is getting some weird paste being applied to him by Esme for their burns. And you are able to do what you can do. Once the battle is over, the count stands at 6 dead, and another 5 wounded that are able to be helped by you all. So, where do you plan to have this meeting?
Probably just back in the manse where we had the first one.
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
In the courtyard,
Yeah.
then?
You could probably somewhere just out in public.
Oh, we're
Is there
going
any
off
sort of
just out in public.
Yeah, just in the
market?
square.
Yeah.
Any sort of market square or exterior area?
Like the arena?
Last time we were
Outdoor
all in the
now.
arena. Maybe not. No, just no.
I would go to the house. You go to the house of
No.
the ancients.
What about this nice
No.
area?
Like,
what,
there, right there.
what about this nice area here that has like that hasn't been touched by the
Magnificent.
battle with like a with like the pool of water and everything?
10 out of 10.
And who are you inviting to this meeting?
Anyone and everyone who wants to come.
Okay. And the word of that is going to be spread.
Audra will start just telling people telepathically as she passes by.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh god, that's so
That's gonna
creepy.
cause
Chance
some
would, like-
People here are
consternation.
used to it.
Okay, I'm gonna go the old door-to-door method. Oh gosh, can I stop by Sophia's and pick up at the nut cart first? Where is Sophia's? Oh god, where am I? I feel like it's down here.
Right here.
Oh, thank you. Somebody.
Chance. I mean, after realizing that he can't really fix anything, Chance would probably figure out where it's at and begin going to like the forge to tell the forge people, and then just start hitting up anywheres and everywheres.
Mm.
I got Snake's Quarter. I'm going door to door with my nuts, and I'm gonna get some butts in the seats. Oh, hi guys. Meeting later. Would you like some nuts? And they're all gonna say yes, because why the fuck would they not?
I think
Over
most
half
evacuated.
Of the houses are abandoned.
Oh yeah, but you know,
Which
yeah.
it
Okay.
causes a little bit of sadness in you as you go like knocking from door to door, and like a lot of the doors just like left ajar, or you just don't hear anything in them at all.
Did like anybody leave stuff? No, I'm joking.
Um,
I'm
Yeah, I mean you could spend all afternoon searching.
No, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna change up my methodology. I'm gonna go with the old ice cream truck. Do 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 do. I've got a whole cart of nuts for you. Do 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 do. If you want some nuts, I can have nuts for you. You too can eat nuts. Everybody move butts and get some of these delicious nuts in your face. Face. Oh, we're going to a meeting place, and there's gonna be lots of nuts. So move your butts, and eat some nuts. Yeah. I should
That was amazing.
I know
was
demand to use
great.
the level of bard.
hide
know.
goddamn pepper.
So the majority of people you find in Snake's Quarter seem to have gathered together in the soup kitchen.
Oh, in the soup kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh. You know, it
So
goes great with soup.
Nuts.
Nuts.
Yeah. You donate some walnuts. They
Oh.
say that they'll be right over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Give them some floor nuts. Give them some ceiling nuts. Give them a whole house of nuts.
That's nuts.
It's not nuts. There's witches in the forest who make houses with gingerbreads. Why not nuts? Is it nuts? Nuts? I don't know. It's nuts. All right. So yeah. So
You-
soup kitchen.
You spread the
Nutting
word
it up.
pretty effectively throughout the quarter.
I feel like I have got Snake's Quarter handled. Ooh, House of Spices, chili cashew nuts. Ooh.
Oh. When you walk into the House of Spices, you see that what few pieces of spice remain inside have been just like scattered all over the floor. All of the baskets have been packed up in a hurry, leaving like trails of the fragrant powders behind. And this place seems like completely emptied.
Not even a broom and dustpan?
You could probably find one if you look around far enough, but like the corridor shaped market area in the house, instead of bustling with merchants or at least stocked with goods, it is empty.
You know what? I'm gonna get some floor dust for these walnuts. So I'm gonna pick up some of the spice off of the floor, and I'm going to collect it up in the dustpan of my hand, and then I'm going to extend my hand and blow softly over my cart of nuts, and I'm going to call them my nut
You bought
cart.
the whole cart, right? Didn't you? Yeah.
I did buy the whole cart,
right.
yeah. And so I'm gonna sprinkle that over my nut cart, and I'm going to call them the Everything Nuddles. and I will leave the House of Spices, and I don't know if the meeting started and I'm just completely missing it, but I'm going on to the Timber Ward.
It's around when you leave the House of Spices that you see people start like heading in dregs towards the House of the Ancients-ish area. I think was all that you gave.
But I'm not gonna leave the Timber Ward nutless.
There's like a skyrite, meeting here above the area.
Look to the sky, you fancy guys, and get yourself some nuts.
Yes, people would see that. So, like, by the time that Ollie gets to the Timber Ward, most people that still remained, which is a larger percentage than others. It seems that those who live in the Timber Ward are a lot more invested in this location.
Oh, they're
than,
badasses.
Say, merchants. A lot of them are already kind of heading out.
Move your butts and get some nuts over at the House of Ancients, but these are new nuts. Best nuts you've ever put inside your mouth. These are good nuts. These are nuts I fought down south. You're gonna love my nuts and the butts and the nuts and the nuts and the nuts. Nuts. Yeah.
I love this. Eventually, many people gather around the pond. Ollie has got a cart of delicious paprika-flavored nuts.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's got a whole mixture. A little bit of just regular old dirt. A little bit of boot tread. It's like waffles, you need the grit to make it legit. Mm-hmm.
Got to eat up or you won't be healthy.
Yeah.
Once that everyone has gathered with a deep breath, Chance will start. Thank you all for gathering. We believe Amonazid is dead. The dragon burst into dust after casting a powerful magic spell on it. However, it warned of things to come. Before the fight, Sophia decided to go behind everyone's backs and make a pact. Given that, we were able to get the information that an army is on its way. Thus, we are holding council now to decide what to do. I believe first, Inqua, you should speak on this. And then we should take votes before anything else is decided.
If I could, before we go into everything else, I would like to take a moment to honor those who fell defending Grove, and Audra will take out a little list of all of the fallen and read off the names.
You read each one off, one by one. As you reveal each name, you hear a couple of more shocked screams and sobs in the audience. It's clear that this is how they first learnt that whomever they loved was now past. And there is silence after the last name is read.
I will personally... Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Again, I just want to give my deepest thanks to these individuals who volunteered to fight and give their lives for Grove. We have many who also survived the fighting, and who are recuperating in the makeshift hospital, and I will also read off those names. And then I will pass it over to Chance.
Those who have unfortunately been lost to this day, I will personally fund any final rites that you wish to have for them.
A few people.
It is the least I can do to alleviate whatever suffering I can. Chance will look to Inqua. Would you like to speak, or would you prefer for me to speak on this next?
About matters of future leadership. Or
Yes, that one. We should get that decided before we move forward. As
yes.
the leader should be the one doing this.
Guess we'll walk up. Currently, Grove is without leadership. However, times of these uncertainty become greatness. For now, you are not under any restriction of monarch. You, the people of Grove, have the right to choose who will lead you. It doesn't have to be one person for life. It could be a council of many, or just one. That's your decision.
There's
So,
some confused murmurings.
believe what the plan will be. For now, we will set up a temporary de facto leader to take control of your choice. Once we get the city up and running back in at full speed, we will then switch over to the government type of your choice. Are there any questions?
Like 10 hands shoot up.
Okay, we'll go one by one. Person on the furthest left.
What? How do we decide?
What do you mean? Like,
You could vote. I could pass out slips of paper, maybe.
yeah, we all pass out a slip of paper. We'll create some options available.
Are there any who cannot read and write?
That's a good question.
Almost all of the hands go up.
Time to start a renaissance.
Okay. So, if anybody wants to nominate somebody as leader, let us know. We'll pick a color of stone, and then we can draw stones for it.
There we go.
Next question.
He answered it already.
Oh,
Okay.
Alright.
Any unrelated questions?
any other questions?
Yeah, what did you mean by made a pact? The change of leadership. I'm very confused. Yesterday,
Alright.
it was going to be Vera and Sophia being taken control, and now we vote?
Yeah, yes.
I don't know who any of you are, except for you. So
Hi.
I'm gonna trust you, Asturias, but I'm just confused.
Well,
A lot of things have changed really quickly. Inqua, my friend here, brought to our attention that maybe you as a people were not happy with the current leadership and would like different representation. So I just want to make sure everybody feels heard and happy with the way things are being run.
Hold on, ma'am, let me ask you a question. Before today, was there any rule or law that you just hated, despised? Says, this is a stupid law, why does it exist?
Yeah.
Can you give me an example?
Well, there was the one about having to give back a tenth of your earnings to your boss.
To your boss?
Yeah.
Like-
To the boss's boss, you know? The Gressing
Oh. Okay.
Those taxes pay for like the soup kitchen and
Well, that-
Mm.
that's a whole other can of worms. But hypothetically,
Oh boy,
let's
we're gonna
say-
start communism and a renaissance.
let's just say, hypothetically, you really don't like that. You can go. People will petition. People will run for offices where they make decisions, and they'll say what they want, what their opinion is on the matter. If somebody says, "I think we should lower. You shouldn't give this tenth of a tenth or tenth to the boss's boss," then they would try their best to make that part change.
So if we don't like a rule, We can ask people to change it, and then we talk about it.
Kind of.
And then what if it doesn't get changed?
United States of America.
Well,
sorry.
well, sometimes it just doesn't work. Not everyone's going to be happy with every decision.
Why should I vote for a system that doesn't work for me?
Well, it may. Stop it with your communist ideas, Ren.
This is your idea, Inqua. You don't have the answer to that question?
Stop critiquing the government. Stop it. Stop with your communist
Look,
ideas.
I'm here to install democracy, not solve democracy.
But perhaps it's.
I mean, I think the general idea is to have a government that works for like the greatest percentage of people,
Yes.
the largest part of the time, right?
Yes, exactly. The goal of the government is to help as many people as possible.
So it might not help me, but it might help my little un.
Yeah, it could help.
Precisely.
It could. Education. That may be something. Or
Yeah, I'm very interested in the education system.
Yeah.
We need to be educating more people.
To learn more.
But literacy is the work of rot. When we could be doing things, we also could be out there on the fields making money.
You could also be reading up on agriculture techniques to make your fields plowing even better.
What is horticulture?
Agriculture is a catch-all term for like farming, fishing, those sorts of activities, like herding cattle, things like that.
So we
Arazid is frantically writing down all these new terms.
So what you're saying is we can learn things from reading.
Yeah.
They're not just
Absolutely.
stories and that.
There's stories which are fun, but you can learn skills, languages. You can read about historical events.
Whatever you want.
It's
Pretty much.
It's true. Once I borrowed a book from the library and it was a very instructional manual. My husband and I very much enjoyed it.
Ma'am, do you know the title of that book? Could I?
It was
You can give it to me later if you're embarrassed. That's fine.
Come up with
You're
that
required to answer
EGM.
that question.
she's
Dear
beat
God.
Find me later. Find me later.
She is communism red.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah.
Where's the corpse?
Of what?
Corpse of.
You said you killed the dragon. Where's
Yeah,
the
we also,
dragon
it
corpse?
went to there's a large pile of dust in the town square.
Oh, that's
That's
what that
it.
thing is.
Yeah.
It's kind of look like soot.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
I thought that was
Like
just
I
your
said,
sweet,
very
weird
powerful spell turned it to dust.
Yeah. But pretty much.
Next question, please.
shit. I want to hear more about what you're planning to do with someone that you said betrayed you.
I'm gonna put an armor on Sophia.
That is for the people to decide.
Whoa.
But her intentions were pure, so I'm advocating for clemency. I feel like Sophia has learned her lesson about going rogue.
Maybe we should outlaw capital punishment.
Oh, so we're voting on things, but only if you decide they're worth voting on.
No,
No.
I'm just encouraging, empathy.
Didn't sound
Ideally,
like
it would
that,
be
but
every
okay.
decision. Every major decision, I should say. Things like criminals, you'll be, a amount of you will be called upon to decide after hearing both sides what to do with them.
Yeah, maybe like a random selection of the populace.
Like 9.
I don't know. 12 seems more right to me.
Yeah, it could be 12.
A council of 12.
Just for dealing with matters like criminal matters and such, 12 random people will be called upon to decide what to do with them after hearing both sides. As for officials and everything, current numbers are not decided upon.
And who decides who's the 12?
We could do random. We could do like a lottery system.
It's probably easiest, and then they decide what happens to criminals after hearing both sides. And then they are no longer the 12, and then the next time it's another new 12. So eventually everybody will have to do the work of deciding what to do with criminals and those who break the law.
And there's like more understanding throughout the crowd now. More like approval, noddings of approval and stuff.
As for who will lead, it is more of a system of somebody says they wish to, and then people will cast votes if they believe that they can. Or there can be one where you nominate somebody to lead, and then you cast votes on if they should lead or not.
Now you're making things confusing.
Yeah, there's a little more like scratching of heads now.
Why don't we just shout out names?
That seems a bit like everything's going to come at once. Roughly how many people are here?
Roughly 60.
Look, let's set up elections. Well, first off, here's what we're doing. We're going to decide our form of government, how you're going to run this place. We'll vote on it.
Okay, show of hands for a council of more than one person.
Well, now they don't know what councils are.
Council is a group of people that rule.
That get voted in.
Well, then surely a council is any place that is more than one person.
Well, I'm saying, if you'd like, basically not a monarchy. So if you want more than one person, raise your hand.
But the Gressingmans were more than one person. Were they not a council?
They didn't self-define as a council, but they could be.
Okay. Moving forward, do you want people that you can vote on and decide who rules, or would you prefer to make one person ruler for life?
Can you rephrase that as a yes or no question?
Do you want the person who leads to be ruling for life?
Very few hands go up. Maybe
Okay.
Like
So we're looking at
you-
like a term system.
Do you want whoever is ruling to be one person or more than one person? Like one person? Okay, let me rephrase this. Do you want only one person to rule at a time?
Just over half of the hands go up.
Okay,
Alright.
so they would like one person ruling at a time. But for a limited term.
Yes.
Show of fingers. How many years should a person rule at a time?
There's a smattering of different amounts. Most attendants, but not all of them, have a standard humanoid 5-digit hand, though some are not quite as blessed biologically. For example, Sabra only has 4 fingers on each hand.
Well, they can use 2 hands.
Yeah, I'm just trying to illustrate. The most fingers seem to be going up a 1 or 2.
Okay.
What would like the average be if I were to like do the math on that?
The average would be about 1.4.
Let's say 2.
Okay, so we're thinking
So?
2-year terms.
So everybody wants to vote on who leads every 2 years. Does that sound agreeable?
There's a lot of like nodding and agreeable murmuring.
All right, then. We have a system in place.
There's some
Wait a sec.
confused cheering.
Okay, great. Do we want the same person to be able to rule twice in a row? Do we want this?
Monarch. Gotta make them switch it out every once in a while.
No, I'm just saying, like, we need to switch it out. Like, we don't want to just vote for the same guy over and over again, right? Like,
But what if they do a really good job?
well, and maybe
Well, then they'll run 2 years later.
yeah, that seems good. That seems good, right?
Yeah.
Then where's
Show
the
of
point?
hands. Raise your hand if you would like a limitation on repeat terms.
They don't, that's something that they're not going to understand. The people who lead, should they be able to lead more than once? Raise your hand for yes.
There's a lot of thinking hard on this one. But like around 30% of people stick their hands up straight away.
Chance will give it a bit longer for people to think over.
And then by the end of it, it's about a tie.
Let's say will of the people decides until further notice. They can always place limitations on this later.
Yeah.
For now, we will allow. However, in the future, it can change. That is the new system going forward. All right. And anything else we need to cover before we start trying to put somebody in charge?
We need to cover. What if someone is like halfway through their? Is this the term? Right? That's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like doing a really shitty job.
Bear with it for another year.
That's
Yeah, I mean,
Just
like,
go
when
down
we
for it, that's
start
crazy.
campaigning against them, right? You're not going to get reelected if you act like that.
Oh, well, it depends, surely. If they are doing something that breaks a law, they should be held accountable to the same standards as everyone else. But what if they're not doing anything illegal?
If they're doing things illegal, then they face the same thing as the other way, where the 12 people decide. If they're not doing anything illegal, then don't vote for them next time.
Or make what they're doing illegal if what they're doing is bad and maybe should be illegal.
Oh. Honestly, it just sounds like we're swapping in a monarch every time. Maybe we should add some sort of smaller council? Maybe a bit complex.
That might be a bit complex for the situation we have. I feel like they can, once we install a leader, they can figure out the minutiae of that.
Yeah. Maybe we should... Maybe for this first one, we elect some positions with some of our more honestly, enlightened individuals.
Okay.
Literally,
Alrighty.
for now. Just for this once.
Let's not decide too much for them. Let's.
Yeah, isn't it kind of dick
know.
of us to be like the ones who are like, hey, we want to set up this thing. It's the people's choice, but you can only choose these people that we like.
Yeah. Let's forget about that. Okay,
Just
so
just for this first time.
Community nominations.
Yeah. Well, I think right now, to put it simply, I think right now if any of them were to take the stage, that things may go bad really fast.
Well, we're now to the point where we should probably choose somebody to be in charge for the next 2
Yeah,
years.
we need like candidates.
okay. So does anyone have a candidate they would like to put forward?
Perhaps
Who does anybody want to come forward and say who they think should rule for the next 2 years?
One of the men steps forward. You said that one over there tried to do what's best, in her opinion, for the city, even if that weren't popular. Maybe she should be elected.
possible.
We should ask the populace anyway.
We should. What's your name, sir?
Ignis.
Pleasure to meet you.
Okay, we have one proposal for Sophia. Any other names we should be considering?
Can I insight check to see if that's any influence of like a Monazid's remnant power of like the divine right to rule?
Yep, that would be an Arcana check.
Oh no, not Arcana. I want insights. Hey!
This is why you take what you fucking get. There does not seem to be an influence happening over Ignis.
We need
Chance will nod then.
at some point we need to talk to Sophia about her pact, see if it can be broken.
Satisfied. Well, Chance straight up asked that at Sword Point, and she didn't confirm nor deny that it was, so.
Yeah, I talked to her a little bit about it. On that grapple.
A rather flamboyantly and not very thoroughly clad individual near the back shouts out, "Lulu!"
Do I know who this is?
Roll a history check.
I can't help you with this one.
Nope.
I really can't help you with this one.
DC is low since you are a resident. Lulu is, you think, the name of the person who runs the brothel.
Oh.
Are they currently here?
I think she's helping the wounded.
You know, we probably should wait until we. You know what? We'll gather additional names from the people helping the wounded because I feel like that's only fair.
Why don't
Wait,
you
I thought
like
everybody was here.
have a place where people can come and give you a nomination till like the end of
Yes!
the day?
We'll have like a hopper box. Yes. Okay.
They can't read or write.
The person sitting there can write it down for them. I can do it.
All right.
And how do we know
do we want to set up?
you to write the right one down?
You know what? Somebody can take turns watching you to verify. That way we can have multiple witnesses.
Independent?
Yeah, just pick people of your choice. I don't care who watches me. I'm not going to do anything.
All right. Who knows people and knows how to read and write?
About 10 hands go up all in all.
All right. Pick somebody.
Ollies. I know people. I can read. I can write.
One of them.
But you're not a citizen of Grove.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fun job.
Bring all of them up, and
And
then
I just want you to know that I can't run this round. I'm going to, what do you call it? What's a good word for, like, I'm not going to do it?
Abstain?
I'm going to abstain this election because I have a very important mission to
do.
gestures vaguely at the sky, gestures vaguely at, like, the world.
Perhaps
I have a
that would
mission
be-
of extreme importance to the world that I have to do, but maybe in 2 years. We'll see. So just so that you all know that I'm a neutral party. I'm not going to be changing votes for myself or something.
There seems to be
Pretty
acceptance
bold
of
when you
this.
haven't been nominated. just before any of you
Wait,
want.
somebody did say at the beginning that they trusted me.
No, they
good.
weren't referring to you, they were referring to Sophia.
That's what you get for killing a monarch.
Sophia hasn't done the ritual yet, so it's my title, bitch.
Okay.
Anyway, are there any other nominations? Or
Not in this.
We're going to start a list. We will meet here tomorrow at the same time to decide a leader. Does that sound good with everyone? If you want
Collective
somebody
nodding.
to put their name forward to be leader, go to where's a place that we can send them to?
I'll just be sitting outside the hospital.
Go to where the hospital is and talk to Audra and let her know who you want to rule. And then tomorrow we will decide who rules.
or no, we won't. You will.
Yeah, I mean we in the sense of everybody, not in the sense of us. The people will decide. There we go.
There's a lot of nodding and people begin to disperse.
Audra's gonna kind of elbow Chance. And you laughed at me when I said democracy was possible.
Renaissance.
To see if it'll last is still to be tested.
Right now, things are a little rocky. 95% of the population is illiterate. That's a big problem. Get those numbers up. Once we get people educated to society, then...
Yeah, I
then
always thought it was
things
kind of weird that we only taught people who were learning magic how to read and write.
Well, that can change. Besides, things to do, plans to make.
Oh yeah, by the way, there's a shrine in Henry's old house that we really need to destroy. And some of those beetles, I guess, are still skittering around Solaris's place, so we should think about doing something about that.
We also need to figure out, and Chance is going to like squarely turn to Sophia, the nature of what is left of a pact. Because if that dragon is actually dead, then it is likely that there has been a major paradigm shift.
Sophia will hear in her head, "He's nice, I promised, but you might want to apologize for mind controlling him."
Sorry for almost getting you killed. If it makes you feel any better, it was kind of forcing me to do it at the time. That probably didn't help, did it? Sorry.
Is that something that she says out loud or back to Audra?
To you, to your face.
Chance will kind of shrug a bit. While annoying, it was within the realm of what I expected. A all-powerful magical dragon thing to do. I'm still unsure if it's actually dead or not. The same with the Gressingmans. Ever since Sklod came back from the dead, I do not trust anybody stays dead. So apologies if I think that there might still be a chance that you are under the influence of some evil deity.
Do you feel yourself? Are you better now?
She kind of like stretches her shoulders. She seems to be really thinking this over. I believe so.
Do you think there's a risk that you'll be controlled again?
Possibly. It doesn't like to do it. I think maybe it takes some of its power to control me directly.
Do you think it's safe for you to run the city? If I mean, I don't. I just want to make sure we have all the facts.
When it proposed the pact, it was specifically to help. I apologize. I want to get my words right. I don't want to leave anything to ambiguity. Or worse, a complete misinterpretation. Please don't follow the path. I can do magic now that I couldn't before. Like people I've heard about that listen to whispers in the dark. And make deals with them. But it seemed to take a lot out of the creature to force me to hold person you directly. I may be able to research ways to stop that happening ever again.
I think that would be a worthwhile investment of your time.
Do you know for sure that Amonazid is dead? Or is that just a temporary death?
It's not dead.
As I thought.
But that form is dead, yes?
Yeah. But I don't think that was its true form. That was a taster, it called it.
Chance will rub his chin. Do the names Torahel and Lacrimat mean anything to you?
Yeah, I've read about them. Old societies, when things were green.
Did Amonazid speak anything of them?
They didn't exactly share anything with me of that nature, no. Not intentionally, but... Audra, I've been learning under you for a good while now. I've learned how to do a lot of the same things you can do. I could hear its surface thoughts. Though it was like a torrent all of itself. It seems like there were so many minds battling for control inside there. So many. Do you remember when you first tried to teach me how to do that, and I accidentally did it wrong, and I opened my mind up to just everyone in the vicinity, and it was like 100 people were shouting their innermost thoughts right at my face.
Yeah, it took me a while to buff those scorch marks out of my floor.
I'm sorry. It was like that. The thing is a maelstrom of souls. You've killed a shadow of one soul today.
From what I've learned, I did some research on. Oh, did I tell you all that the back house was doing some weird research for Artemis on combining animals, and that's where the cockatrice came from. Anyways, Monazid is like that. It is an amalgamation of multiple creatures.
I can't believe that they were doing that right under our noses.
A year ago, I wouldn't have believed it, but I've learned a lot about them.
See, the exact nature of my pact was I agreed to allow it to siphon off my magic. In return, I got its protection and its pact with its soul. So its soul was bound to me. My soul was bound to it.
Do you think this pact can be dissolved? It's magic, yes?
Probably. Definitely with its death. Maybe with other means. Maybe I could
There might be
just-
someone in town who can cast a wish spell.
Maybe I could just shield
Okay.
my mind.
You could try using the Helm of Restoration, that may help. Were you given any item that would have that was given to you by our former dragon friend, or no? Any amulet, any
Did it
I don't
give me
know.
anything?
Yeah,
No.
anything at all. Money, nothing.
It gave me the ability to perform a few more spells. Not that I wanted to use them.
I knew that couldn't be you using that sort of magic, and I taught you better than that.
You did. But I've said that song and danced too much today. Let's focus on fixing things. I hear that they're gonna
I have
go
one
do
last
some-
question.
Oh, go ahead.
This Amonacid, it goes on and on. Everyone according to it. All of this, it all leads back to the same thing. They all claim the divine right to. Do you have any insight on that and the connection to all of this?
People seem to believe that if you have the most magic power, either by luck of birth or through hard work or stealing it from others, that gives you a license, a right to rule others. Amanazid is on another plane, almost, with its power. You cannot fathom it. Not without touching its soul. There's so much entitlement wrapped up in there. I think that's what it boils down to.
So it's ego.
Ego, fed by an unsafe environment to live in. It creates people who succeed by exploiting others. And because they feel no compunction over doing this, they feel that they are better, that they have the right to rule, as you say.
It's just ridiculous.
Even someone like her,
Did-
And like Sophia kind of jabs a chin over towards Vera.
She doesn't want to roll, trust me. She wants to leave.
No. Maybe she could rule if she were that type. She is all powerful if she wanted to use it. And also, her current life is one of a rich merchant. She has the power and the means. Someone with a bigger ego, with different motives. Say you're born into a house of undertrodden halflings. Say you're the younger brother. You feel that you always get looked over. You always get the short end of the stick. Well, maybe you internalize that. You feel like you are owed more. You're entitled to more. You plot.
I think I've heard this particular story before.
I have a question. Would you be willing to give us a sample of your blood?
My blood? What
Blood
for?
is a powerful binding thing. There's a facility that we have access to that uses blood that will aid us in our quest to bring back the second sun and save this world. I want to test Amonazid's connection, and without its blood, as kind of like we'll wave a hand towards the battlefield and everything. Without a corpse, I can't take a sample. So the next best thing is somebody with a pact.
I understand.
And I can promise it won't be used for nefarious means.
I will give it as long as you are the one to hold on to it, Audra.
Absolutely.
I have no qualms with this. I simply wish to test some theories.
Let me know when you can receive it.
Auto reply a little vial from her herbalism kit.
It doesn't have to be right now, right away.
I don't want to forget.
Maybe
So long it's
bath
before we leave.
first. I feel dirty.
Understandable. But I'll see you later, yeah?
Yeah. I hear they're planning to dig graves out in the timber ward. Give those who died a peaceful place to rest. If you don't see me at the hospital or my house, I might be there.
Would you mind conducting a ceremony over those just to make sure we don't have any issues with the dead later on?
Very well. I'll see you later.
I'll see you.
Bye, Sophia.
I want to find that woman who talked about that book.
Once Sophia leaves, Chance will kind of fold his arms.
I hope you're not too angry with her. She's still very young and prone to make stupid mistakes.
Well, I could care less. What is done is done. It is in the past now. I did not sense that whatever connection Amonazid has influenced the man who put Sophia's name forward as a candidate. It seems they actually trust her, even after everything. If that is who they wish to elect to lead, that is their choice.
I trust she won't make the same mistake twice.
You recognize the woman who was talking about the book earlier. She's kind of hanging around near the hospital. She seems to be waiting for this list operation to begin so she can add a name.
Oh, I have to, I'm gonna go. But I'll, you guys know where to find me. I'll just be sitting at, I guess I'll make a desk. I go over and I make a desk out of ice.
Cool, says Sophia. She said the same joke probably 100 times before.
Audra literally always laughs.
Yes, and that is why you're good friends. She steps up to you. I would like to put Gauk Emerson onto the list.
Gauk Emerson. Okay. Do you know how to spell that, or should I just go phonetic?
It's G-A-U-K-E.
Perfect.
I-M-A-R-S-O-N.
Oh, that's fun to spell.
And she leans in really close to you, and the name of the book was The Necromancer Who Raised My Bones. And she scuttles off.
Oh my.
Do I know? Sorry, do I know who Gauk is?
Yeah, he is someone that's been a come and go presence from the manse, and most common areas. He is a like a jester or an actor, a performance artist, essentially, for the town.
If we hire the town fool, it's gonna be so. If he gets voted in, it's gonna be so funny. Okay. It's on the list.
What is the rest of the party doing whilst Audra is taking names?
I would like to go out and try to find Arazid the cockatrice.
Okay. You can wander about the town, and please roll me an animal handling check.
I would like to roll it, but I opened my sheet and it was okay. There it goes. Okay.
You're just like, here, cocky, cocky, cocky. And you kind of realize how silly that sounds when you hear Sabra laughing as she's sweeping the dusty bits of a Manazid off of her shop.
Arazid just kind of looks the other way. He doesn't want to acknowledge her after saying that out loud. He doesn't want to deal with the ramifications of his actions.
Eventually, you find the cockatrice at the herbal shop. It is sitting, looking directly at Gither, the musician, and it is poking the banjo repeatedly, and then looking at Gither with a really intent, direct look on its face. Gither, in her part, is trying to shy away from this thing.
Arazid runs up to the scene, and he he looks back and forth between them, and then he goes, "Can I can get him out of your hair. I can collect him."
The second that Arazid notices Arazid's approach, Arazid will run up to Arazid and start clucking happily.
Arazid is going to try to pick up the cockatrice Arazid.
Arazid can pick Arazid up. Like, you guys are roughly the same size, to be honest.
Yeah.
But you're strong, you're an adventurer.
Strong enough anyway.
Yeah.
I'm gonna nod. I give and go. Sorry if he caused any trouble.
It's no trouble. He was just trying to get me to break the law. He's a little rapscallion, ain't ya?
I think he is too. He is the most rapscallion-y.
You can bring him back any time, but maybe with a leash, eh?
Oh, I can maybe make one or find one. That would be so nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for the idea.
Okay, what else do you guys want to get up to?
Chance is going to go vibe on a roof. And
Vibe or
simply wait
brood?
for the rest of the day.
Thanks for coming, Matt.
Bye.
Toodles.
What? Oh.
Alright. You've got a roof sitter. Solas is... Are you also going to sit on a roof, but a different roof?
So I didn't want to like interrupt anything,
Okay.
but like almost like a minute or two after the Inqua started asking questions, he would have like just fucked off completely.
So like during the democracy introduction.
Yes.
It's been
Yes.
a while then. Okay.
Yeah. And he would kind of go off to see if he can potentially find a place to get himself new armor that is open.
Well, the best place to start would be Patience and Blessings Forge, the Scarloom Forge.
Yes.
If you haven't gone there directly, one of the party members would have mentioned something when showing off their little silver-tipped arrows and whatnot.
Where is that exactly?
It
Can't
is
find it.
North
of the town.
Northeastest.
Got it. So he wouldn't really ask for directions, he'd just kind of wander off, and I assume eventually just find the place.
Yeah.
Considering how long the conversation took.
Yeah. A stop clock is still right twice a day, and if you wander around a limited area for long enough, you'll find what you need.
Yep.
Here they have all regular, like non-magical armors for sale for the regular price in the PHB.
Alright,
And if you need that
let me
table,
just...
I can pop it up for you now.
Okay, I was going to grab it myself, but if you want to.
I have them on hand in a cheeky little folder just in case.
Oh, nice.
The armor, weapons, gear. That's it.
Okay, that is very expensive.
Oopsie.
I guess for now, since I'm hoping to get a replacement eventually, I'll just take a bit of scale mail, since gives me the same AC as I had before, just disadvantage and stealth. Which we're bad at anyway, aside from cool people.
Fun fact, I did a skills analytic, and Audra's best skill is stealth.
Blessing
And so
will offer you a 20% discount for services to the city, which equates to 10 gold pieces off the total of 50.
Okay, well, in that case, that's me down to 90 gold. I don't have much.
Didn't you win some when we went to the arena?
Yeah. That is the money I got from the arena. I had nothing before.
He was broke when you guys got to Grove, and he's broke now.
Yep.
As you're putting the scale mail on, Blessing is helping you adjust it. He will say, also, if you happen to see that long-haired, loudmouth friend of yours, please send him this way. He owes us quite a bit of money.
Oh, you mean the one that looks like a serial killer, but may naturally not be? Got a
Probably?
sword.
Yeah.
Got a sword, dressed weird. Yeah, got it.
Got a sword.
I'll make sure to let him know that he needs to pay dues.
I mean, no rush, but also please tell him when you next see him.
I'm going back, and I'll go back now, unfortunately. So I'll see him then. Either way, have a good day, I hope. Yeah, better than today was, at least. Either way, so he just kind of begins stumbling out as he almost certainly has a severely injured leg.
Clink,
Considering,
clink, clink.
yeah,
He's
considering it's new armor.
Scale mail.
Considering it's new armor, and also the fact that he is severely injured, he's going to take his time.
I offer you a good berry in this trying time.
It's not going to do much.
He's going to walk back at is it Ursula K. Linguini is the old lady?
Oh God, no.
Yes, it is.
Like at her kind of pace.
Faster than that, give him credit. He has 40 base speed, okay?
Okay.
Ursula
In a long
knows
enough race, he could outpace Ursula.
Yep. Oh, Ursula is one of those old ladies who you don't think she's coming, but she comes.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord, she coming.
What is Ollie doing?
Ollie is really curious about the political atmosphere right now. Like, kind of wants to get a little inside scoop on the candidates. And I know that that we all know that everybody who's anybody is going to be talking politics at the Blush and Gnome. So Ollie is going to slip into this little pool and emerge. How a twas will be. And she's gonna waddle her big little pregnant belly past the old basic instincts. She's new to town, just coming in with all the craziness. And how a twas will be will enter the Blushing Gnome brothel. Or at least she'll try the door. Hopefully business hours are open.
She tries the door to find that it is currently locked.
Oh, and she's gonna knock. Oh, hello! Is anybody in there?
After just under a minute, you see movement. Where's his fucking...
Is it movement like the kind of coming towards the door movement, or is it like movement, like pulling the blinds.
It's like coming towards the door movement. Okay, just before I shrink it, here's who's coming.
Oh, dip. What? Pan? Out of the form. You a satyr?
He opens the door. Welcome. We are not quite opened yet.
Oh, you know what? I'm not open for business myself, and I'm going to indicate my pregnant belly. But you know, a girl loves to gab, and, well, I can tell from your signage that you peoples are my peoples. Could I maybe come in for a cup of tea?
You're one of those lot, aren't you?
Oh, my name's Hewa. Hewa Twustworthy. I don't know what lot that you mean, unless you mean that I get a lot of D. And by D, I mean penises.
sorry. No, sorry.
Why are you lying?
Why am I lying? No, well, I guess I haven't been getting a whole lot of penises lately, considering my condition.
I'm so glad I'm not monetizing my channel. Sorry, please continue.
In my previous life, there was significantly more sexual activity, but nowadays it has taken a downturn. I don't know. I kind of thought that like maybe men would be into the belly, but I've also been pushing them away because I don't want to traumatize my baby before it's born, you know? It's like you got to notice something's up when that kind of action be happening.
I'm pregnant, not have sex. Will it hurt baby top of his head?
Uh-huh. Is that...
Sorry.
The man leans kind of his face slightly more into the light. You notice one of his eyes is made of what appears to be glass.
Motherfucker's so perceptive.
You're a changeling.
Am I a changeling your mind about letting me in?
You can talk all you want, but please don't lie to the staff. What I say goes directly to Lulu.
Lulu?
Yes, you know, Lulu, one of the people that was brought up earlier by me.
Yes, okay.
In the meeting outside, when I saw you in your other form.
Oh my goodness. All right. You know, this was kind of going to be a fun thing for me, and you're really turning it not cool. I'm going to turn back into Ollie. I love pretending I'm pregnant. Come on, man. Come on. You're being mean to a pregnant woman here. I could very well be pregnant. Well, no, I haven't. Not for a while. Arazid, you know, he's kind of fashion. Anyways, you don't need to know any.
I thought that this was more of a lying, conning me out of something type situation.
This was a me having fun situation, and that's gone. Anyways, I did kind of want to get to know you guys. I'm sorry. I'm not the most comfortable in new social situations, and sometimes I find that it's best to take on an identity other than this. But now you've got this, and I don't know. If you want to be friends, that's great. We'll be friends for the rest of your freaking life. And I've got a whole nut cart to prove it. Well, I don't know how it proves it, but I do still have a lot of nuts that I'm trying to... I don't know. If you guys want nuts, I got nuts. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I just kind of wanted to meet you guys, be cool. You know, it's a gnome brothel. I figured I'd come in, you know, my gnomiest form. But you know, being a thing about being a changeling, which I'm sure that you understand, being that you're a little bit, you know, you got horns. But the inconvenient thing about being a changeling is that although you can change, your mass stays the same. So when I want to be short like an adorable little gnomey lady, I have to have a big pregnant belly. And I really made that work for me. Until you.
This guy seems to take like a good few seconds to process everything.
Take it all in, baby.
You see that something just kind of snaps. Or clicks, as it were. He looks down towards what would be Hewa's face, but what is like Ollie's kind of belly, and is just like
the great blouse. He falls in love. He falls asleep.
I am so sorry for my earlier rudeness, Madam Trustworthy.
Oh my
Please
gosh.
get into whatever form is most comfortable for you. As long as you are safe to us, we will be as accommodating to you as we can. Especially to one as so pregnant as yourself.
Thank you. Well, I'm gonna morph back into Hella. Don't offer me a drink. I can't say no.
Can you even drink right now?
Well, that's the thing because because the baby. I should say no. Oh, you're right. I'm not pregnant. I can drink. But it looks bad.
What would you like to do? Would you like to sit in our lounge area and see the sights? They're not much. It's mostly just Ada mopping.
Oh, just Ada mopping? I feel like you're really, I think one of the most sexual things that a person can do is help with the housework. Like, ever seen a fine looking man's just like washing a cup?
That's actually so true and real.
Oh, freaking true, right? Like, your whole brothel could just make bank by having a sexy cleaning service around town, right? Like, I think maids have been doing this for a long. I think. Oh yeah. All right, but yeah, I'd love to see Ada mop, and maybe you and me could have a drink or something. What kind of drinks do you like here in Grove? I got nuts. If we could have a bowl of nuts to share. Do you like nuts? What kind of things do you like? What's your favorite color?
Green.
Green? Oh, that's a beautiful color. My favorite color is blue. I like water.
Blue is lovely. Like
It's nice
your
when
eyes.
Oh, well, my eyes can change to any color, so green.
He gives you like a genuinely impressed, slightly seductive smile as he settles down on the large padded sofa next to you and hands you a large glass of something that smells strong.
It's quite the aroma. I'm going to take a dainty little sip and then I'm going to go and hit my belly and be like, she likes it. I'm assuming she...
It tastes like whiskey, but like made like it's been burnt. It's been passed through the flames and come out the other side all the thicker and sweeter.
Oh, that's how I like my chicken too. You know.
You know me too well.
You know me too well. So anyways, I know you were giving me that little look there later, but let's talk about my fiance. Do you have a girl? You and Ada got the thing going on? What's up with you?
Well, we've partnered together every now and then, but being as we're both working individuals, it doesn't quite engender oneself to a monogamous relationship.
Oh, doth it not? Oh gosh, the challenges. I mean, but like, it's kind of, I think you can make anything happen if you want it to happen, right?
Yes. Well, we define ourselves as in a polycule is the word.
Oh, a polycule. Like a molecule with like a lot of... Oh wait, no, I'm not supposed to know anything about that. Oh, like
oh, delightful. It's like a marriage, but with more than 2 people.
Oh gosh, that sounds hot. I don't think Arazid would like it though. He's so great. He's so sweet to me.
So it's Ada and myself. There's a lady called Sabra that we're involved with every now and then as well. You might have met
Sabra with the fingers.
The
yeah,
fingers?
she has. Yeah, because her fingers.
Right. Yes, of course. She's not particularly receptively physical, but She is very affectionate. A very lovely woman.
Right? That's all you really need. But I mean, a little bit of physicality. Wink. So, you guys didn't evacuate when all the craziness was going down? Oh, there's some background noise I hear there. What? Maybe it's... I don't know if you guys hear that.
Yes, he's, the thing is that Lulu has spent a long time building up a home here. She didn't want to leave it, and we are never going to leave her. She rescued me off the street. She gave me my eye. And he winks the glass one at you.
Yeah! Did that thing give you, like, some extra insight as to who I was, or are you just really, really perceptive?
It gave me extra insight. It's enchanted.
Ooh. Well, I know a whole community.
She hired me to be a guard, I suppose you could say, of some form. I make sure that no money is magical, that no one's coming in looking like someone else, making sure everything goes smoothly.
Oh, really? Okay, so you said magical money. What is that?
It's when people use magic to create something that looks like money. And it works just long enough to be spent.
Yes. I know some of my friends. Yeah, they can be a little like that. Oh, have you ever seen Anna Lemby's gold?
I've never heard of it.
Oh, hold on to your horns, baby. And I'm gonna pop open my fanny pack, which is tucked snugly below my belly, and like, oops, I'm gonna kind of lift it up, and you're like, can you just hold it for a second? I'm gonna hand him my belly, basically.
He looks incredibly violated. But, like, also weirdly impressed.
He's been more violated, I'm sure.
He's horrified and impressed.
Okay. This is a new thing for him, yeah. Holding a not pregnant belly.
Like a little bit of an awakening.
Oh dear. Oh no. But anyways, I'm gonna pull an Anna Lemby's gold out of my fanny pack, and I'm just gonna, hand it to him and take back my belly.
Wow.
She likes you.
Check that out.
Yeah, they use real gold. They're crazy. I mean, clay works just as good, but
right?
Oh yeah, but I think it's nice.
Imagine so the amount of gold paint this one coin could make.
Oh my goodness, right? Oh, you could slather your whole body, baby.
He has a look passes over his face, which is like he's seriously considering that. Also, he really doesn't want you to tempt him, but also he really does want you to tempt him.
He's an interesting guy. Anyways,
he's very open-minded.
Yeah, I can tell. So one of those is worth about, I think about like 9 Jarris, like a Southern Dolor coins, right? You can keep it, sweetie, just for letting me in and being so nice to me. Maybe you could turn it into a gold paint of sorts. I don't know.
And maybe I can pay you back in kind once you've had the baby, of course.
Oh, no. Don't worry. You don't need to give me any gifts. No, this baby is a gift all on her own.
I defer to your superior knowledge, Miss Twustworthy.
Twustworthy?
Yeah.
There's a V. Yeah, it's not. It's
I feel like I'm saying it. Twustworthy.
Twustworthy. Oh, that was better. That was much better. Thank you. You're so sweet.
Oh.
Much better. Yeah. Oh, coming up with new characters, huh? But yeah, so in the brothel, is there like a stage?
Yeah.
You
It's like a promenade stage. It juts out into the audience, and like seats kind of arrange themselves in a U shape around the stage.
if you guys needed to drum up a little business, I could probably put on a show of sorts.
Maybe you would be interested in speaking to my mistress.
Oh, Lulu?
She's upstairs.
Oh, I mean, that would be great. Let's go. Ooh, meet Lulu. All right.
Individual.
Bottoms up, darling. And so I'm gonna swig up my whiskey drink, and if he's drinking one, I'm gonna tip it for him. Like, insufferable.
The individual who has at some point identified himself to you as Breor.
Breor? Breor. Why can't I make a joke about that? Oh God, Breor.
Breor.
No, yes, but he's not a whore. That's offensive. He's an artist.
What if the art is being a hoe?
I mean,
So true.
but that doesn't mean we call them a hoe, right? Like, Breor galore. It's a beautiful night.
He will lead you upstairs. And what is the rest of the party up to? Audra is staying by the hospital, I assume, for the rest of the day.
I'll stay for a while, and then I think I will pass the job off because I have a couple things I have to do to like some of the other people who are illiterate. As long as they have like other people watching them, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I really want to go
to help out.
Oh, perfect. I really want to go to destroy that shrine, and then probably talk to somebody about dealing with whatever's going on at Solaris's place.
Okay. Arazid is hugging Arazid.
Arazid is trying to find something to make a leash for Arazid with.
You might end up getting directed to the brothel if in that case.
That's you know what? That's a fair point. Arazid will probably go there.
Solas?
Sorry, no food.
Good.
I think for the most part he would just kind of see if he can find a place to relax. Like, he is very tired, very injured, and just wants to sleep. So
I'd assume you would probably just find your way back to formerly Artemis's manse.
yeah, probably.
I think we should now rename it to the People's Manse.
So true.
Or, you could just take over this place. It's kind of already got your name on it.
Uh-huh.
But I don't have a map for that one. So, Artemis's Manse it is. Chance.
Still doesn't know he has to do anything. So gonna continue vibing on the roof of one of the buildings of Artemis's manse.
I'm assuming at some point Audra's gonna pass by underneath and just be like, "Hey, Chance, wanna destroy a shrine with me?"
It's more like looks up, makes eye contact, and then he hears in his head,
right?
Or sees a picture of the shrine in his head and her it going up in flames, and he just hears bad idea, good idea.
Changeling leaps from the building, slowly walking down. Great idea.
Good. I was hoping. I thought maybe I shouldn't go by myself in case it explodes or something.
Oh, well, we don't know until it happens. Besides, I kind of want to look into some things. And he will head to the Underbarrow Mints as well.
Wait, what shrine are you guys destroying?
There was that shrine to Azarkul in the Underbarrow Manse.
Right, yes. I was so hung up on Artemis's manse for a while that...
Yeah, I just remember that like it has some ability to like let Azarkul like look at this place, and I'm like, fuck that.
Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, I think that everyone splitting off is a great time to wrap things up because none of these things can be resolved in 10 minutes or less.
You be
All I
so-
gotta say
That's
is I'm very... Oh, sorry. I too am very now interested in this Lulu individual because if they have the power to make a eye with true sight, that is terrifying amount of magical power.
I mean,
They
could've
might
just
be the
bought
one who
it.
can cast a wish.
It's going to be interesting meeting them next week on the Hateful Sun Z.